Hello, welcome back, boys and girls. Today we're reading day 16 of the book series, The Month of Christmas, written by T.Ferries. Now, this remarkable story is all about Santa Claus, the reindeer, and all the wonderful animals and people that live in the North Pole. Now, let's see what happens. Let's get started. Day 16. Video night. Day 16 is a usual day of work for the elves. At night, they watch their favorite Christmas videos, and they also have hot cocoa and order cranberry pizza from Jack Frost Pizzeria. He owns both the local bowling alley and the pizzeria. Elf TV has all the classics, from early cartoons to the newest movies. The elves especially love the old cartoons, and they can stream them on demand. They've been doing that since 1913, when the first Christmas cartoon was made, and that was Duck Yak's Christmas. Now, Duck Yak was also a comic strip in the newspapers. Now, since then, so many Christmas cartoons and movies have been made. Christmas comes but once a year. From 1936 with Grumpy is an elf favorite. He is so funny and shows how kind he is by making toys for all the orphans. Santa thinks Grumpy is the best, and the elves are so impressed with the ingenuity that Grumpy uses to make toys out of everyday things. And that is my favorite Christmas cartoon. In 1948, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cartoon was made. It is a classic and based on characters created by Robert L. May in 1939. The reindeer are still waiting for Rudolph to arrive, and some think he may come in 2034 to join the North Pole reindeer. It has something to do with legal matters. Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. In 1962, Mr. Magoo was Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, originally created by Charles Dickens back in 1843. Mr. Magoo is such a good actor, and the songs in the cartoon are wonderful. I highly recommend you watch it. In 1964, a longer Rudolph cartoon was made. It had so many memorable songs, and the elves love it because it shows them at work, and one of the heroes is an elf who wants to be a dentist. A Charlie Brown Christmas. And in 1965, another classic was made, A Charlie Brown Christmas. Santa likes that one because it shows Christmas is not about getting gifts and fancy trees and decorations. Every year, Santa gets a Charlie Brown tree. He has the gingerbread man save the smallest, scrawniest tree for him. Home Alone. My favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone. It's not really about Christmas, but it is similar to an event that happened here at the North Pole. Now, let me tell you the story of the elfin and the goblin. Once on the 16th day of Christmas month, two elves were putting their elfin to bed. It was a dark and snowy night. The mother elf designed toys and the father elf made them. Since it was almost Christmas, they'd worked hard getting ready for Christmas Eve, when all the toys would be given to kind and generous children. And then they said, "Good night, dear," and gave the elfin a kiss and went to bed. And in a minute, the elves were sound asleep as they were exhausted. But then a knock came to the door. The elfin sprang out of bed to see what was the matter, and then she asked, "Who is it?" And a squeaky voice replied, "Santa, I have a gift for you." But she became suspicious. A mother told her not to open the door for strangers, and this Santa sounded very strange. And she said, "How do I know that you are Santa?" And the goblin did his best to imitate Santa's laugh. Ho 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 ho. And the elfin thought, Santa does not laugh, ho ho. He laughs, ho ho ho. One ho is missing. So she ran to the window and looked out, and the snow had stopped, and the moon lit the same like it was midday, so she could see clearly. He was a Christmas goblin. He was trying to get in the house so he could steal any gifts that were under the tree. And then she yelled, "You are not Santa! Where's your red hat and coat and your beard? And you surely don't laugh like Santa. Go away!" And the goblin grumbled and wandered away. And before she could get to bed, another knock came to the door. And this time, she looked out the window first. It was the goblin again, dressed in a red coat and hat with a fake Santa beard. And then she laughed and then made a plan. She went to her room, opened the window, and climbed on the roof. And she rolled a big snowball to the edge of the roof. And she called out, "Santa, come around back and I'll let you in." And the goblin started around the side of the house and headed for the back door. And what do you think happened? The elfin rolled the giant snowball off the roof just as the goblin came near, and the snowball covered the goblin and he looked like a snowman. All you could see were his eyes, and the elfin ran back in the house, and then she went to bed. Now the North Wind and the Man in the Moon had been watching all this, and the Man in the Moon said, goblins are no match for elfins. Elfins are too smart." And the North Wind began to laugh. He laughed harder and harder, and the wind began to blow harder and harder. The wind blew all the snow off the goblin, and then it blew all his Santa Claus and beard off too. And the gust lifted him up in the air and carried him far away. Now the North Wind kept laughing, and soon the goblin was in the enchanted forest, and he landed in a river near a bridge, and a troll lived under that bridge. After getting his bearings, the goblin climbed out onto the bridge, and the troll climbed onto the bridge too, and bellowed, "Who is that on my bridge?" The goblin took one look at the troll and flew back to the North Pole as fast as he could. Luckily for him, the North Wind had stopped laughing and the wind had died down. and the moon lit his way back and chuckled at the silly goblin. So, that is day 16. I hope you liked the story of the elfin and the goblin. The end. Thank you for joining us again, boys and girls, for this wonderful story. We'll see you soon.